Are we rolling right now? Oh,
yeah, that's why I just started rolling with some stuff.
Hey, so what were we talking about? What were we busting Kevin's balls over? I want to get in on this.
About the
because it's technology. Yeah, he's like an old man.
Listen, guys, when you become a pawpaw, you got to bring your text up a little. I'll be 56, Austin.
56.
All right?
Pick up sticks, yeah.
Still holding it down for a 56.
Yeah, I guess you're doing all right. Yeah, your girlfriend's
40.
Fresh. Yeah, I'm 40. You want to date me?
You might not be able to wear the hat.
Fair enough. All right, so guys, this is episode 1 of Lordy Day the podcast, and I'm Johnny Ray, the host. This is Austin Walker, my co-host, and we're going to call Kevin reoccurring talent. So he'll be on the show with us a good bit. And Bergen wasn't actually able to make it today. He might make it for episode 2. He had some car troubles today, and he's got to handle that. So anyway, let's kick it off. What you guys up to today?
Oh, just enjoying the morning.
Yeah,
started about 6 o'clock this morning. I think, didn't we?
Me too. That's early.
Couple hours.
6 o'clock.
Yeah,
6 o'clock.
There's a bunch of people like truck drivers and like people like I used to be. They're like, oh, screw this guy. 6 o'clock's not early. That's when I start work.
Well, them farmers are up much earlier.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Yeah, real farmers. Real farmers are up earlier.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Kevin, let's start with you, man. Who is your daddy and what does he do? That's Arnold Schwarzenegger, kindergarten cop. No, anyway, so let's. Where you from?
Well, I'm actually from Dalton, Georgia. Grew up in Georgia, then moved up to Maryland. And after Maryland, I made my way over to lovely Coastal Carolina College in Myrtle
No,
Beach,
let's.
South Carolina.
You're just skipping ahead a little bit here. I feel like you're avoiding some things here. You wonder why there's questions about you being in the witness protection program because you literally skipped 20 years. It's not cool, Kevin. I've known you a long time. Help the guy out. I want to know. So, Maryland, you're in Maryland. You're eating a lot of crab.
Eating a lot of crab, BMX bikes, skateboarding. Those were the big things in my life
For
back
sure.
in, the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Was it that late?
Well, it was.
Long ago.
Graduated high school in 84.
Wow, I was born in 82.
What? So wait a minute. You graduated in
84.
May of 84.
Yeah, 84.
What?
Same year that my girlfriend was born.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Well, correct.
It's a little weird.
No, I don't think so. Nobody's judging you here.
Thank you,
Hey, so
thank
let me
you,
back
thank
up here. Again, Maryland, okay.
Maryland, yes, sir.
You had a great childhood, mom and dad. What'd your dad do for work?
Dad worked for GTE, was a big shot in DC. Started
GTE
General Telephone Electronics.
Is now Verizon?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Now,
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that. Pretty cool. Yeah.
He started out running a pole crew down in Dalton, Georgia.
Nice.
Yeah.
So he ends up in the telecommunications business. What'd your mom do?
Mom was just a stay-home mom.
Nice. She take care of you?
Right.
You're an only child, so...
I was pampered a little bit. I was definitely the kid that was picked up from school when they faked sick.
So you're from up north. Well, my mom's from Pennsylvania, so I say up north. So y'all had some good snowball fights, I'm sure.
Well,
did y'all ever pack rocks in the snowballs?
Oh, yeah, you got to do that.
Snow was a big thing. We would, stand behind my one friend's house and, make ice balls. That's a snowball with some water poured on top. And
it makes it real hard.
And we could get a pretty good throw down the hill with the cars that were trying to make their way down the most treacherous hill in our neighborhood. And we just added a little fun to it.
It's funny you say that because the first time I ended up in the newspaper, it was in the police blotter. For throwing snowballs at cars I don't remember. It was back home in Texas, of course. It was a rare snow, so we decided we were going to throw snowballs, and apparently someone called it in, and we made the paper. So I actually still have the copy.
The copy?
Yeah, it's stashed away in my my relics. But anyway, so Dad was in telecommunications.
Yep.
Your old man passed.
Old man passed about 25 years ago. Got the cancer bug, and luckily for him. Took him out quick. Would have wished to have a little more time with him, but we know he's up there looking down on us.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you cared deeply for him because you and I have shared personal moments. Especially the day your dad passed and everything.
Oh yeah.
But I imagine you got a lot of his personality.
Yeah, my mom likes to say that I've got his stubborn side. But my mom's probably about as stubborn as they come.
Yeah, I've heard.
She gets her way, and that's the way it's going to go.
Does she still have that dog you gave her?
She does. The dog's been going back and forth since she broke her hip. We just went through the big hip thing.
Yeah.
She's 84, lives by herself, won't go outside of her house, just does her little mom thing.
Yeah.
Has her routine.
Sorry, guys.
What's going on here?
Austin's having
technical difficulties a little bit, but I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It keeps dropping on me. It keeps wanting to
Alyssa's
fall.
she's gonna die because.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be so mad.
Yeah. So anyway,
and we're falling.
we back.
Welcome back, Austin.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
Bingo,
That's,
bango,
that's-
bongo.
That's almost impossible for him.
Easy for you to say, hard for him to do.
You're asking
It
too much.
started falling. And I kept
God.
watching it, listening to Kevin's story, and it started around here, and then it ended up down my belly button almost.
Oh well.
So sorry.
Better
No
there
worries.
than there.
So anyway, Kevin, you go to Coastal Carolina.
Yes.
What I've heard some stories. We've shared a lot of stories from our college days, and I think that you bounced at some bars.
Yeah. I've
Hey,
quite a
get
few
out of the
bars
way.
down in Myrtle Beach.
Your name's not on the list.
Probably Crazy Zach's was probably my biggest bar. We were a huge open floored bar. We had 15-cent beers.
15 cents.
15 cent, and you'd buy them by by like a case.
Oh, you could
They
buy a
would just,
case.
Yeah, they would just fill up cups into like a
PBR,
case. We were
Miller,
anything you
whatever.
wanted.
Yeah.
And they were
Okay.
sold by a specific type. This guy that owned this place was a freaking genius. They were actually beer girls. So they put them in really short crop tops and put them in super short shorts. And these girls would make $300-400 a night selling 15-cent beers.
Oh yeah, because
That's
they're people are
unreal.
giving their money in
Yeah,
tips.
yeah, yeah.
That's
it's free beer.
almost $1,000 a day.
We used to go to nickel beer night, and they'd tap a natty light, and when it was done, it was done. But you could only have 4 cups in your hand at one time.
You.
So we'd fill the table up. I've never drank so much hot beer in my life.
Oh yeah.
But at the price,
At
you'd
the
bring a
price,
roll of quarters,
yeah.
man, and you tip them 5 cents.
Well,
No,
the
I'm
best-
just kidding. We didn't actually tip them 5 cents.
The best part is when you left 3 or 4 behind, you didn't even worry
You
about it.
didn't
You were
worry
like,
about it.
that's
Yeah.
a quarter.
You know, and back then you had to call like your buddies to pick you up after nickel because they didn't have Ubers and stuff.
No.
I definitely wasn't calling mom.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
But anyway, so Coastal Carolina. What's your degree?
Well, Johnny Ray, business.
Business.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Utilized a little bit of that, but I like to consider myself the man of street smarts more than the man of
For
business
sure,
smarts.
for sure.
you
I
know?
can
Now
second
you got don't you have a not a psychology degree, a sociology degree?
Well, that's what I majored in. But I
right,
didn't
right.
actually get my degree in sociology.
Okay,
but,
that's just your major. for sure.
yes, sir, and that is, I'm a people watcher to the T.
Yeah,
ain't nothing better than sitting and watching people act a fool.
You got that right. It happens. But anyway, so Coastal Carolina, you knocking it out. You're friends with Joe DeToley,
Yeah,
a
my
mutual
good buddy
friend of all
Joe.
ours. Yeah,
When we graduated from college,
Joe
Joe's old man,
Dattertoley.
Big Joe Senior, was running a subdivision of Nestle up in New
and
Jersey.
you were making chocolates.
and it was called Perugina, small chocolate division out of Perugia,
Mhm.
Italy. And
Nice.
They have some
it's a
really good chocolates if you can find them now.
chocolate, really known for their
I've never
bocce
heard of it.
kisses, which is a little
delicious.
hazelnut chocolate kiss.
Yeah.
Joe's dad brought me on, and I managed a couple retail operations.
So this
for him.
was right after college, right?
Yeah,
out of-
this is well,
Now-
I went back home for a little bit
Right.
and still dabbled in
He
the
got-
bar business for a
right,
little
right,
bit.
right,
yeah,
right.
but also that's around the time that his name changed.
right.
And we're not so sure that the details continue to be hazy, folks.
Listen, guys.
but it's 'cause-
I just showed up in this town one
And-
day,
and
and,
that's what-
and I
we'll get
found a
there.
nice home.
And we're gonna get there because that's how it ended up. I think I bought you a beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
college, you're working for JD or Joe DeToley's dad.
After working for
Josie,
Jody's dad, and up in Jersey, and then I got an opportunity to go work for Joe, working for the bond buyer. Right on Wall Street,
Street,
in
yeah.
New York City.
Right.
I had a view to die for, the
Right.
20th floor, super high tech security. Loved that job, but super high stress.
and this was in the 80s.
yeah, yes, the early.
You said a
80s.
lot of technology.
The downside
Kevin's
to that,
seen the change of technology
yes,
well,
happen
yeah.
I did have flip phones.
and utilize it.
Right, but
Yeah.
before,
Right.
did you have a bag phone?
My father.
You had a pager. I bet you had a pager.
Oh, you had a pager for sure.
Interestingly enough, My father was actually one of the gentlemen that was involved in making the first actual bag phone.
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
GTE was involved in that. So
Nice.
at one point in my younger days, when I would drive around in my dad's, hotty toddy car, I would steal his bag phone. It was an Acura.
Oh.
It was a little 2-door coupe.
Nice.
And I would steal his bag phone, and he would always get pissed off. But one day I broke it.
Oh, no.
And, things got real bad for that. I lost my car for about 2 weeks.
How much were those things? They were like $1,000, weren't they?
They were super expensive, but this was
like
one that was
$10 a minute.
like an first run, type deal. So it was one of those things where it was just brand new and, it hadn't really hit the market yet. And
he got it from a guy.
Oh God, I broke it
off the back of a truck.
He got it. Yeah, it fell off the back of a truck. He got it from a guy. He also had watches.
My dad actually was in government affairs at his end when he retired. So basically, he was he was the schmoozer in the politics end. He ended the politics end in DC.
Yep. Okay.
So he had a big ass office. With a huge foyer and his own bathroom and a guest office and all this stuff. And the best part for me was I had a parking space that I could go to when I needed to go into the city and get into trouble.
Oh, nice.
I would just go and use his card and put his code in, and I could go park in his little private space down in the basement.
Oh, that's cool.
And the security guards always would catch me sneaking in at night, coming from the bars, and they'd be like, "Where are you going?" And I'd be like, "I'm Mr. Shawhan's son," and they'd be like, "Yep, all right, you guys have a great day.
No worries,
have a great day. Have a great
that's
day."
good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been to Wall Street. Yeah, I'm trying to go through all the stories. Yeah.
So then,
bartender,
then we rotated out of that, and we went into. I ran a small advertising team for a business-to-business newspaper.
Okay.
So basically, we went out and we handled like the top 40, up and coming businesses, the top 40 business influencers. We had a whole bunch of events throughout the year, as well as a publication that went out weekly, and we sold ad space, and we had an editor that basically went in and put in pre-writ stuff pertaining to business stuff.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. Is it like one of those coffee shop news? Or is it a little bit more?
It's a little more in depth. I would say it would be like a Wall Street Journal type version.
Nice.
Okay. And then we had a whole bunch of subdivisions of magazines that were more specifically geared towards your industry.
Gotcha. Okay. So this is definitely pre social media, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is like
100%.
This is the early marketing avenues that people were using.
Late 90s.
Now nobody would
mid-90s.
really use, I don't think.
No. And this is back in the day where the word of mouth was the huge. It was all about relationships.
Yeah.
If you had a relationship with Bank of America, and I was able to carry a lot of those relationships, from different businesses that I've been in over, and then, with some of my friends, Joe, and a few of our other friends, John Toth, and some of the other guys, some opportunities were opened up for me that probably wouldn't been opened up for me.
Relationships were incredibly important.
Exactly.
In careers,
Gave me some
stuff
opportunities to do some stuff that I probably wouldn't have just jumped into.
Well, same thing in racing, when we were in NASCAR and all that stuff. A buddy would call and say, "Hey, we got a spot, I'll help you get in," and I ran into the guy at the mall one time. I hadn't seen him in 7 years when I got to Penske, and he's like, "Hey man, they're looking for a fabricator. I'll put a good word in," and end up getting the job.
Oh, nice.
Hadn't worked with the guy in years. But anyway, so that's important. Now, so you own some bars.
Yeah. I was in the bar business for a little bit. That probably is one of my fortes. Something that I enjoy. I enjoy that little bit of that hustle and, the day-to-day interactions.
The
day-to-day interactions with the customers. The restaurant side's a little different.
It is.
Now I get to see a little bit of both of the sides, a little more involved in the restaurant aspect with
a lot of our viewers and listeners, they don't know, but Kevin is our bar manager at the Hoot Nannie in Forest City.
He's a
164 East Main Street.
That's right.
That's right. Friend of the owner.
So we call him Photo, friend of the owner.
That's right.
So Kevin, he carries a little clout there. He's the bar manager, but also, he's one of our official taste testers of new recipes. And I always say, if I can't make it there to taste test the new thing, have Kevin taste it and he'll let me know if it's a thumbs up or not.
Well, I got to tell you, yesterday Nicole brought me like about 5 or 6 things to taste, and everything that she was bringing out of that kitchen was absolutely fantastic.
She's good.
We were cranking it up.
There's some good cooks between the two restaurants.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Great servers and some real veterans out there. So Kevin, the bar business, and I'm sure as this podcast goes on, we'll hear some bar stories. About you maybe throwing some people out on the street, but we'll get there. We'll get there at some point. So anyway, all of a sudden one day I'm minding my own business. It's 2018, would you say?
Yeah,
2018, and I'm minding my own business, and this schlub shows up, right?
Well, just so you guys know, I have lost a couple pounds. So,
well, I didn't mean it that way.
I was just 330 at the time.
You were a big guy.
What I'm saying is that he's a pretty nondescript guy, except for his 7-foot stature. So I don't know. I think he showed up a couple times, started eating, we chatted, I bought him a beer. Yeah. And then I think next thing you know, he's like going on family vacations with us, and this is like a matter of 2 days. No, I'm just kidding. but
it was funny because my friends kept telling me about this place in Fallston, and I didn't know where Fallston was, even though I live 10 miles down the road. And one day I just decided that I was going to come here, so I came here and I took a picture in front of the sign out front just to send to my friends to say, "Oh, and I know this place you're talking about." And I decided to come in. And my first time here, I sat at a regular table and was just stunned at the comfort of the restaurant and the feel.
Home feel.
Yeah.
And the music that they were playing and the food and, the customer service that I received. Yeah. So I kind of left and kind of gloated to my friends. I was like, I've been up there and, this is my new spot. And I have a tendency to, click around and, make some regular spots and,
and they all know people. You come. I mean, you're
Kevin's got 5 or 6 spots.
I think there's
hits.
And
they're great.
They're great tacos. What else? Oh, the dollar tacos. We'll give them a shout out. But don't tell them what day though, because we don't want to have to fight.
No, it's already.
If you're in the know, you know. That's right. The dollar tacos are. It's not your everyday dollar tacos.
It's definitely in North Carolina.
Oh boy,
it's in the western part.
But anyway, it's definitely not on Mondays.
So I stumbled across this place.
So
I start telling my buddies, I'm like, hey, there's this fantastic restaurant out in the middle of nowhere. There's one traffic light in this town, but this restaurant is really stellar. So I start coming, and I start looking around and bebopping around and trying to see. And I see Johnny Ray, and I start trying to interact a little bit. And, the next thing I know, I can see that people are seating in the back of the restaurant in this little secret nook that the VIP
the lunch counter.
Yeah.
And it's a lunch counter. It's got a couple seats on
there. You get to hear the
one
kitchen
little
cussing.
table. And basically you are now brought into the kitchen world. And you get to experience everything, the smells, the action, the banter.
Oh, yeah.
There needs to be a sign that says, once you enter this area,
stays to yourself.
Stays here.
Yeah, it's like Vegas.
Because it's putting you in the kitchen experience of calling out orders,
it also
yelling
puts,
what's going on, what's happening.
It also puts some accountability on the kitchen because they get to see their customers as well. But sometimes we have to remind them that there's an
enter at your own risk.
It's an open kitchen as well. I mean, you're dropping F-bombs all over town.
So I kept trying to sneak back in there to get back in there. And then one day I was pulling into the restaurant, and the wife was pulling out.
Yeah.
And I got signaled by her, and she said, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" And I said, "Going to get breakfast." And she goes, "Well, what are you doing the rest of the day?" And I said, "I don't know." And she goes, "Come on, we're going to the mountain."
You guys hiked.
So we went out and we hiked. And then the next thing you know, I came in and didn't need to ask to sit in the back anymore. I was just brought to the back, and then I was sat in the VIP seat. And then, I think
everybody's going to want to start
at one
hiking
point
with us.
Johnny Ray will tell you at one
that was
point.
The last time everybody went hiking.
Yeah.
I do believe the light bill was paid by me for a little while.
It was, yeah.
I was breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it was just, I can't cook as good as they can at home myself.
Well, I also think it tastes better when someone else cooks it because I would say I can cook all of this food, but it's not the same.
Right. Yeah, right. It's different. And
when you got some of your cooks throw some real good spins in there.
I've never had a grilled cheese as good as the ones they make here.
Oh yeah,
I mean grilled cheese. It's nothing special.
Do you think it's got the flat top, like the seasoning in the flat top?
I don't know.
Aging of the flat top,
right?
Could be because
cast.
It's cast. I think it's an inch thick.
Yeah,
so it's pretty stout. Yeah,
it's not a Teflon. It's not.
It's about 400 years old.
Yeah.
So,
it came on.
I inherited Mayflower. Yeah.
When I was
Santa
3,
Maria.
I was using that.
Santiago. That'll be another story.
Yeah. But. So anyway, Kevin's enters our life, and just kind of becomes part of the family and everything. And so now you're tending our bar. Or not tending, you're managing our bar. You got some great bartenders in there.
I do.
What is your personal favorite cocktail? Not a bourbon, but a cocktail.
Oh, Johnny Ray, I think I still like something that I learned in the beach, and we brought it onto our menu, and it's our Steady Freddy, is the Carolina Sunshine.
It's good.
It's a drink that surprises many folks, and it's usually a big burly bearded guy that's got some muscles on him and a whole bunch of tattoos. And he's like, and I'm like, just trust me. It's fruity, but it's not over the top. And, it's a simple drink. It's got 5 ingredients. And basically, it has become our go-to. Now, we've done some spin-offs on that drink as well.
Now, is that shaken or stirred?
That is shaken, and that's actually nice made with Edie's lemon vodka.
The Deep Eddies.
Yeah, the Deep Eddies, which is a product that we use across the board. We use their orange, we use their lime, and occasionally we'll even use their peach.
Old Red, she loves the Deep Eddy and tonic and the lime.
It's a great product. It's really a great product. Reasonably priced, and
it's from Austin, Texas, I believe.
I believe it is.
Yes,
Texas.
From
Boston,
Massachusetts. Austin, Massachusetts. Yeah. So, did you guys know that? Never mind, that's another story. We'll get there one day. But so anyway, let's talk bourbons. You're kind of you're a legacy bourbon guy. Your family's been in the business, which we should have mentioned.
Yeah. Bourbon is in my blood and soul.
Definitely in my blood,
all the way down my whole damn arm.
And children.
I decided to represent my.
Do you have bourbon
heritage.
in your blood today?
Don't have any bourbon in the blood today, but we will have a bottle of bourbon on the table next time we shoot. My family actually started in 1789. Is when we distilled our first. We were actually before Elijah Craig. Elijah Craig's one of the guys that's considered the godfather of bourbons.
And you guys were before that.
We were. If you Google Shawhan bourbon, you will come up with a plethora of information and of whiskey labels. I believe we had 17 different brand labels under our belt at one time.
So you guys were like co-packing for other brands.
Yep. We did some co-packing. We had our own.
Was this out in Kentucky or Tennessee?
This was technically actually in a town called Shawhan, Kentucky.
No way.
Same as my last name, same as the bourbon brand. We then spun off and had a distribution and a distillery in Barnestown, Kentucky, and then eventually started to move some things and moved to Kansas City, Missouri. In Kansas City, Missouri is where we built our state-of-the-art facility.
That was a boom time.
It was.
Are there any existing
bourbon
bottles?
Well, I do have some bottles, and we'll get a shelf up here, and we can put some of that on the shelf. But the story between the family is one of the other big whiskey labels. It's a black and white label. They
a John Daniels.
Maybe a John Daniels or a Jim
Johnny Beam.
Johnny Beam.
Johnny.
Haven't spilled any of those on the poker table, have you?
Yes, I've done that before, haven't I?
Somehow. Our building burned to the ground. So the distillery burned to the ground, and the brand was taken over. It kind of sat still for a while. Was taken over by a gentleman in Kentucky, and he held on to it. Never did anything with the label. Never did anything with the name. So some of that's changed, and hopefully someday soon we'll see some of that come back to fruition.
Yeah, that'd be super cool.
I can tell you one thing. A lot of the bourbon connoisseurs and the beer connoisseurs have brought a lot of things and new flavors. In these past 10, 15 years.
There's breweries popping up and closing every day right now.
Bourbon is one of the hottest things out on the market. Bourbon has gone from a back shelf to a front shelf whiskey.
Correct.
Now it's accepted by the lady crowd. I can tell you I've had
there's tons of ladies.
There's a huge group in Forest City. Some of our regular customers that come in that support the restaurant super heavily with their family. And those ladies were at the front table one day screaming my name, and I never even met them yet. And I walked over and they said, we're here. We want to take some bourbon. We seen you on, Facebook with Johnny Ray.
Nice.
And next thing you know, we got some super loyal customers, love the bourbon selection. We probably have the best bourbon selection in Rutherford County.
And for those who aren't in North Carolina, who, may be listening, North Carolina is highly regulated with their alcohol. So we can only buy from one government-run store. And, we're out in the sticks, so to speak, so we don't get the distribution that the big cities get.
The allocations.
You're not in Charlotte.
Allocations.
The allocations that's down.
Right. So,
luckily we have a great relationship with our ABC guy, Brian,
mm-hmm.
who takes great care of us as a restaurant.
Yeah.
we've been very fortunate and able to get some absolutely stellar bourbons, stuff that your normal day Joe can't get, and even your bourbon collectors are
they're wanting to buy stuff, empty bottles, even the Blantons.
Right.
So, funny story, real quick. I walked into the ABC store with Kevin a few times, and he's just kind of, hey, give me that. Hey, yeah, what's that? Hey. And I'm just walking around. These people don't know who I am. And then when I get the check out and write the check, then they're like, "Who's this guy?"
Right. Yeah, he went through like a kid in a candy store.
Oh yeah. And I'm just minding my own business. They don't know me from anybody.
Well, the best was the first time we went shopping for the Hoot. Remember that?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm like, we need 6 of these. We need 6 of these. We need 6 of these. And you're like, what?
I don't even know what the bill was, but I was scared.
Yeah. Set up a good bar. Hey, man, your investment can be 10 to 15.
Yeah, for sure. And the best part is Kevin will be like, "Oh, this is rare," and I'm like, "Why do we have 12 of them?"
But they sell.
They do. I'm just kidding. No, he does a great job with the keeping us stocked, especially the bourbons, the cocktails. We're always looking to step up our game on new drinks and stuff like that. But man, I lost my train of thought on something. I had a funny story with that. I was going to tell you about the time that I was talking to these two bourbon drinkers. A husband and wife, super into it, and they asked me what my favorite bourbon was, and I was like, they all taste the same. And what I meant was that I'll drink any of them.
Yeah.
I didn't have a favorite. I like them all.
Yeah.
Right.
But they were like, "Oh my God." They freaked out.
Right.
I was like, I didn't mean it like that. And they even mentioned it on Facebook. And I was like, that's not what I meant, guys. I meant that I'll drink any kind of bourbon. I mean, I won't drink the Old Crow or whatever.
Isn't it funny how somebody jumps social media really quick?
Oh, well, yeah, it happens, man. People, social media gives a voice to people who shouldn't necessarily be on there blathering their personal information.
Kevin's still over here responding from
Facebook 2 weeks ago, because
last week about
each letter of each word of his text. Yeah, each letter of each text is the entire length of the phone.
It's okay, guys.
We had a good trip.
You will get old. You will get old. Trust me, you will get old.
We had a good trip.
Get ready to get the peepers, then the little glasses that let you read.
Oh, the readers,
the readers,
We'll have new eyeballs by then.
Now, are you supposed to wear those on the end of your nose?
Well, I like to wear them across my forehead, but
yeah. Then you get the indentions. But so anyway, you got the bourbon rocking and rolling, lots of good stuff. You're there a good bit still.
Yeah.
I mean, your job, is to make sure that we're stocked, that the schedule's taken care of, that the drinks are being knocked out, that we're not getting stolen from,
right?
Stuff like that. And the overpouring and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's just all stuff that you really don't think about as a customer. You like the overpouring,
of course,
but you can throw your whole business down the drain by overpouring.
Bar can put you out quick.
Couple bad bartenders can take you down.
Well, a lot of people don't realize that margins are thin in food. We're not, we buy a $1,000 cell phone that was made for $19, and we'll complain about a $12 cheeseburger that 6 farmers were involved in.
Right,
literally.
Yeah.
The margins are higher on alcohol.
Yeah,
and we know the sweet spot on a bottle where that bottle is now ours. We've paid for the bottle, so now anything that we go forward with is their slush.
Yeah,
and that's what keeps the bar going.
Yeah.
So it's just a game of keeping the good stuff.
You think about it, like potatoes right now.
Oh my
they're
God.
like
$1, over $1.
They're over $1 a tater. Yeah,
for one regular. One regular, not a big baked potato.
More than
on
a trip. Avocado.
Like 16 cents. Yeah, 60 count potato, about the size, standard baking
potato. So $60 for 60 potatoes, almost $50.
Yeah, it's like I think it's 65 right now, and so it's like, what are we gonna do? Because
the average consumer doesn't see that or even know about that, though.
They don't.
They come in blind.
Well, and that's part of why we communicate, so much on social media about how things. Hey guys. When we had to change our chicken wing prices to 75 cents, you wouldn't think that would affect people, but there were people who were mad.
Right.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, well, I'm already losing my tail on these chicken wings.
Yeah. Right.
I at least need to break even on them once it's all said and done. But anyway, so rocking and rolling with that. When you working the rest of this week?
As soon as we're done here, I'm heading out to the Hoot, and I'll be there tonight, probably till early in the evening, and we're ready to rock and roll. It's Friday night. It's one of our big nights.
Yeah, definitely. Great local farm burgers, all that good stuff.
Absolutely
Steaks,
fantastic food. Cuban sandwich. We've got some of the best catfish. I mean, it's one of my go-tos, and I try to tell people, and a lot of people that don't like fish, I'm like, trust me, it's not your
that catfish is solid.
It's not your everyday catfish. And
then
they end up trying it, and they're looking at me, and they're like, man, you were right.
What's the special on Fridays?
Well, we don't have a special tonight.
We rotate.
We're doing rotation right now, and with with just so much going on, this time of year, we're not doing a specific.
And we're just coming fresh out of the car
generally,
show.
Right.
We had the car show last week.
So generally, we have specials every single night.
Oh yeah.
This week we're kind of letting the crew recoup.
Nice.
From the car show.
Yeah, because man, it was a spanking. Woof. And then you go into the holidays. Christmas when Forest City does those Christmas lights, man.
Beautiful up there.
It's nuts. It's
Once
crazy.
October starts, we become Christmas USA.
Yeah. Last year we had Cousin Eddie in the shitters full.
Front window.
I had him in the front window with a cigar and a can of beer.
Melissa did a great job on her front window.
A robe. And then now I think it's a cowgirl. The mannequin is a cowgirl with no head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's funny.
So I think she was saying something about doing something different this year. I think it's
we got October coming up. We got Halloween. Don't forget Halloween in Forest City. We got to hand the candy out on the street.
I forgot about that.
That's a big day for us.
We're getting into year 2.
That's right.
We're 15, 16 months old as of today.
Yep. We made it through our first year. It was a stellar.
I remember when people would look me in the eyes and say, "You're not going to make it," and I was like, "Oh Lord, I hope we do." We are working our tails off here.
Right.
It was a long year.
Done a good job.
Hey, new restaurants are tough. I always recommend if you don't have patience, don't come to a new restaurant in the first 4 months. Just life advice because it's you basically having 27 people show up all at one time and tell them, "Hey, start working together."
Right.
Learn how to work together overnight, so it's tough. It's tough, but
and we've been very blessed in Forest City with the town and the mayor and the support we've gotten has been stellar. We've got great repeat customers, we've grown relationships, the bar has its regular customers, people come to see a certain bartender, that's what we want.
Right.
We want you to feel welcome and we want you to want to come back.
Yeah, for sure. And now I got to give a shout out to Old Mecklenburg Copper Beer. It's the number one.
It's a good beer.
Yeah,
I'm not even a beer or alcohol.
Yeah, it's very drinkable.
And it's
Steady Freddy at the Hoot Nannie.
It has to be on
always
tap.
on tap. Always on tap. We don't let that.
I think you keep it on tap for me, even though I maybe have like one beer a week.
It's one of my number one sellers.
Oh, I guarantee it. It's great stuff.
It's a great beer.
But that's out of Charlotte.
Yep.
John Marino owns that place. We need to get him on this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super cool guy.
He
eats here at Johnny Ray's Smokehouse.
Nice.
We have some mutual friends, and but that's super cool. So we'll get maybe we'll have a pint with him at the Forest City location.
That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
Now, Austin, you've been
me?
Yes, you.
Boy. Me?
No, the other Austin in the room, the one behind the camera. Yeah. Oh yeah, there is another Austin here.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. So
half the time they call his name, and I'm like, what?
Yes.
Yeah, they do call me for things.
You were washing dishes the other day.
Hey man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Hashtag whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. That's right.
It's our
Hashtag
motto.
whatever it takes.
That is our motto.
Definitely.
We've always bailed each other out.
Oh, dude, that's all we do is bail each other out.
It doesn't matter.
So we, I remember vividly the day I met you, and we'll start from the beginning here in a minute.
42 years ago?
No, it was 18, I think.
Okay.
So you're a little off. You never were good at math.
No.
But so I remember the day we were in Bobby Isaac's motorsports training.
Yeah.
And he and I looked at each other. We looked similar. You know, we looked like we might get along.
he was from New York.
From New York.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm from freaking Texas.
There's no way you're from Texas.
Yeah.
Not with that accent.
I was born there. I pick up what I can.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, you get a Texas monthly subscription when you're born anyway. So
it's a good magazine. Actually.
Yeah, it is. Someone actually believed me when I told them that one time. I was like, no, it's a joke. They don't give them out for free. So anyway, I met you at Bobby Isaac's, and I remember you're like, hey, you want to go to Subway?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And you were driving that King Ranch that we almost died in a couple times. Yeah, 250.
Yeah. That wasn't our fault though. One time we hydroplaned going. That was all the way down the.
That was down the hill
in front of Hickory Motor Speedway.
Yeah, we almost ended up
all the way down. That's
cemetery,
maybe a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Hydroplane sideways.
Oh, dude,
sideways
he is whipping that wheel back and forth. He's like a wheel man on a dirt track.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then right as we finally recover, a car jams the brakes in front of us.
Started all over again.
We almost ass pack him.
Yeah.
So
almost rear.
And it was we almost ended up in the cemetery, which would have saved everybody some time.
Yeah.
At the rate
we would already been there.
Yeah. Just bury us next to John Smith here.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was the first time. I think the tires were bad or something. They
needed tires on.
Yeah, they were bald. Yeah. We were trying to sell them at Hickory Motor Speedway as slicks the next day. So,
I don't think it worked.
But anyway, so we ate Subway that day. You had a tuna sandwich.
Yeah. That's back before they realized what all was in it. I think.
Tuna.
Yeah,
but I read that in the news somewhere. Don't know if it's true or not. But my go-to was the tuna sandwich.
Yeah, you were always there with that. I was a turkey kind of guy.
Yeah,
back to turkey now. Tuna. I haven't eaten that Subway in probably 3-4 years though. Yeah, we got the fresh food down there. I can make my own sub.
You get all the good home cooking when you come through Fallston here.
There's some great spots. There's some great pizza, some fried chicken. Yeah. There's gonna be a Mexican restaurant just south of us where Nanny's used to be.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm excited about that. I love those California style burritos, like the handhelds.
Yes,
those are really good.
Yeah,
and some Cholula hot sauce.
Cholula's good, or some good rojo, like from your Spanish place.
Yeah,
some good fresh rojo.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Some verde sauce is good, but Cholula's not. Cholula's not bad. I've always kind of poked on you a little bit for his Cholula. I've always said, hey, I always said if John, if they made some 1 ounce Cholula bottles.
Oh, they do.
I carry him in a holster.
Oh, he would carry him with him for when he goes somewhere. Yeah,
like a gunslinger.
Right.
Yeah,
be slinging sauce in everybody's eyes.
So, who are you? Where are you from?
From Georgia, born and raised.
Yeah. You're from Atlanta, right?
Yeah, well, outside of Atlanta, but Lawrenceville, Georgia, born and raised. Born in Atlanta. Dad was in construction. He kind of dabbed in a lot of different things.
An entrepreneur.
Yeah. He did whatever he had to do.
Hey there, Austin. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, he's got a little southern drawl.
Good to see you.
Yeah, he's got a southern drawl. Real laid back. Parents, great folks. Him and mom been together since I think 72, 71, somewhere around
power
there.
Couple, I'd say.
They work together every day since 73, I think 74.
Now there were some lean times. Tell me about those. I remember you telling me a few times. The 80s, I think.
Yeah, I think the oil crisis, and Kevin can probably relate.
Yeah, 70s, he was there,
and not knocking your age, not knocking your age, but
there was some bad
the
times.
70s. Dad come home out of Vietnam. And he learned to play golf over in Vietnam to help ease his mind from
some
everything.
Entertainment.
So he came home, and I have goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
Came home, and we had some family property, a few hundred acres there in town, or outside of town, I should say. And him and my grandfather and uncle at the time decided to build a golf course, and it turned into be very well known. And then long story short, the oil crisis happened and the recession of the 70s, and fell on hard times with a lot of people. And Dad, just hustled and made ends meet. They had built a house. I think, I bought my first house when I was 30. Interest rate was 3.8.
Yeah.
Which is low. And Dad said when they first built their house, it was,
I've heard like 8 and 12.
I think he said they were 17%, 19%.
Wow.
And he said, we had credit. We had, good credit, but
you'll
he
never
said
get
the
out of
interest
that.
rates,
18%.
So looking back, now I realized why people stayed in places where they did. But from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Parents have just worked, and hustled, and had some gains and losses in their lives. They've told me, you no matter if you've been to rock bottom, you can't stay at rock bottom. You always have to keep digging. And Kevin's been there. We've all been knocked down before. But everybody's good. Dad got
a sister.
Yeah, I got a sister.
Nieces and a
niece and nephew.
Yep.
Niece just started driving this year.
Brother-in-law Kyle.
Yeah, brother-in-law.
Actually, he kind of got you.
He got me into racing. So
that's how we met. Yeah.
So out of high school, I was working civil engineer and worked through it in high school as well. And after like about a year into it, year and a half, I was like, I kind of want to do something with cars. And at the time, he was playing brokers, flying
airplane,
chartered airplanes, flying Ricky Cravenstein,
PPC,
PPI,
yeah, that was where everybody wanted to work. It was that bright orange Tide car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So long story short, we were on the way to Virginia to ride four-wheelers. We stopped by, set up this deal, went through the race shop. I've always dabbled in cars, working on stuff, working on engines, taking my mom, if she could get on here, she'd tell you, I used to take stuff completely apart and put it back together, but she would always ask, why are you taking your brand new toys apart? You know? Right. So anyways, fell in love, moved up here, went through the Bobby Isaac Motorsports, and that's where me and you met.
Yeah, we started hanging out.
Yeah.
He threw up down the side of my truck one time.
Got sick. We
Long
had
Island
a long Yeah, Long Island iced teas were my go-to, and they still are on only top shelf. But
Kevin doesn't like selling them.
when you're 21,
get you where you need to go.
Are you sure you were 21? I think the statute of limitations is up.
well,
Yeah.
okay, I was 19.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
Truth comes out.
because there's 2 years of difference
well,
here.
I thought you were 21.
Yeah, well, I had okay, so we can go down this road. I had a fake ID.
Yep.
From back in Georgia that looked exactly like me. Same town.
Yeah.
But he lived a few streets over.
Right.
How much did you pay for that?
Coincidental.
Oh yeah. What are the chances? What did I pay? He gave.
Yeah.
His
Oh, he
buddy
gave
was
it to you?
like, Yeah.
Oh,
you
well,
don't charge buddies
No,
unless
I
you're
thought
selling
maybe
a car or house.
Well,
But
yeah, I didn't know if you knew the
I-
guy.
I
You
think,
hit him up because he's like, "Hey, you look like me."
I think looking back, it may have been $20. It may have been $25.
Oh, so
I
there
can't
was
honestly
money
remember.
involved.
Maybe.
Are you gonna get your story straight or what?
Hey,
That was $100.
We just
Hey,
want the truth.
It was like 25 years ago.
Was it? Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I suppose it was.
Almost.
You're about
probably.
20.
So
You're not yet 40.
God,
Yeah.
I was in my prime then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
wait, you had a prime?
Yo, I had a
Oh, you had a prime.
Don't you worry. I had a prime.
You've heard his
I
stories.
still can't
Oh,
on
yeah.
my prime
Oh,
right
yeah.
now, but
Yeah.
listen.
But yeah, so come through racing.
You were so. I'm gonna
You know.
guide the ship on
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
So we work at Bobby Dog. Well, you work for Ken Weaver. We called him Dreamweaver.
Yep.
He owned a 1-800 for a phone. It
For a
was
phone, the 08.
the joke was that it was if you had crappy credit, that's how you got your phone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
but anyway, long story short, the guy made a fortune, I guess.
Of course.
Killing.
Yeah, and
course.
so
Killing
we
off
worked
of
for
it.
the same company. Just they didn't let us work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He
so
was in one race shop.
I was on
in a
the
different,
07, 08
which was
truck.
good.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well,
we
we
still
wrote-
caused a lot of shit
separation.
on the road.
Well, we lived together. Also, one time, damn it, this. son
what
of a
about the
gun-
TV?
That's where I'm going with this.
Oh, boy.
We're over here minding our own business. We're racing in St. Louis, right?
15
and,
passengers, 2,500 Chevy
There's
vans.
a damn yeah.
What we
We're in
had.
15
Oh, yeah.
What we
passenger
had,
vans.
big vans.
And I think with our NASCAR licenses, we got into the Frontier. It may be something else. I can't remember what it's called now, but you get in, and there's chicks everywhere, and so all the race teams were there.
You're talking about St. Louis.
St. Louis, yeah. So
Yeah.
there was a Crystal Burger up the
Yeah,
street, all
yeah.
this stuff. But anyway, the next morning I wake up, I get to the van. My crew chief's kind of a jerk.
6:30 in the morning. So
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like a foggy morning like this
Well,
morning.
Austin's coming over with my TV set from my bedroom from
Not flat screen.
1,000 miles
Not flat
away.
screen, okay?
Yeah, and
Full
then
size.
so I was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "We've been playing video games." So they've been playing video games
While we were traveling on
crossing
the road.
country, right?
With the
And-
power inverter.
Well, then of course
in the
my
van, me
my
and
crew
Gannon.
chief, my crew chief's like, "What the is that?"
Old Doug Howe.
Yeah, Doug
Old
Howe,
Doug
right.
Howe.
Yeah, he's
Right.
still kicking, man. Yeah,
We need to reach out
eating
to him maybe
cigarettes.
sometime.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we should get
Yeah,
him on here.
yeah,
He
yeah.
probably wouldn't come on here. He'd just bitch us out.
Yeah,
But anyway, actually, he's the reason I think I made it through NASCAR is because he was
Yes.
so tough
Yes.
Yeah.
that like he would just look at you and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
So but
Oh, yeah.
anyway, hell, I forgot where we were going with that, but
yeah.
um
It happens.
yeah, it does. It definitely does. But so anyway, you end up at Bill Davis.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
to Bill Davis.
Yep.
Through Ben Duncan.
Yeah, Ben Duncan got you the end.
Yeah, got me an in up there with Rick Wren. Rick took me under his wing. Went up for a tire carrier job.
Yeah.
And he
Mechanic.
Yep, for mechanic. And carrying tires. But Rick and a lot of guys on the 23 team that year, taught me what I knew and what I
That
knew
was
to learn.
Johnny Benson.
Yeah, that's Johnny Benson.
Yeah.
Won our first race that year. Went for the championship. Had a couple of hiccups at Atlanta, just freak things, part failures.
It seemed like daily the first year of racing anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
Everything was falling apart.
yeah.
We once used a Powerade cap under the crush panel to get it to fit templates.
Yeah,
And after 400 miles, the damn thing was still there.
yeah, yeah. And now you can't get a car to pass inspection
Oh, no, you
at
can't. They got a machine.
10,000ths of an inch.
Yeah, they got
That's
a
back
machine.
when racing was fun.
Racing.
I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of it's changed now, and on Dale Jr.'s download with Fatback, he talks.
Yeah, that was a
about
good
little bit of
episode.
That was very good. He was, I see why a lot of guys are getting out of the sport. A lot of the I shouldn't say old school guys, but the original guys that were brought up in it from the 90s through the 2000s, and then it started switching.
Well,
out.
I was always kind of I worked for Fatback in 06 at Wood
Yeah,
Brothers.
yeah.
I was in the fab shop,
Yep.
and he was an interesting one, tough. But
he was tough as nails, but
yeah, he came in one time bleeding, and all over his finger and
Yeah,
running down his hand. It was all over the floor, and he's slinging it, telling us this is why you deburr your metal.
Yeah.
It turns out he didn't even cut himself on metal. It was something else. But
Trying to give you a lesson.
Yeah, but he was
was safety
one
wire.
that
Yeah.
he started at the bottom and he did everything.
Yeah,
he worked
we'll get
his
him
way all the way up through. So he knew,
his
he knew everything from all the angles of it.
yeah. Well, and he was at Robert
from
Yates for a long
fabrication
time.
to
Yeah.
mechanic,
Yeah.
and that's why Rick and Fatback and a lot of these guys. Steve Letarte. He remembers. I remember him talking about sweeping floors.
Yeah, he did.
And
Came from
and
up
then
north.
he's sitting on a pit box.
Yeah, now he's on TV.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
So after Johnny Benson, you end up at KHI, Kevin Harvick. Right?
Yeah. Went to KHI. Worked there, stayed there for a year. And then recession happened. They came through and laid 30 of us off in one day.
Yeah, it was a raw deal.
Yeah.
They ended up sending I think it was Bush team then. They sent it to
I think
RCR,
so, yeah.
right?
I think so.
Something like
Yeah.
that, But yeah, it was a pretty nasty layoff.
But it wasn't just there.
Oh, it was everywhere.
It was everywhere. I remember Roush,
Yeah.
Pitts, everybody was laying people off left and right.
Yeah,
and
everybody was doing that, and then they even started like websites to help keep racers on their feet. It was bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It got bad.
It got
It was
bad.
Many. Wow.
There was
It
some
was a
that
bleed out.
had
Wow.
committed suicide. I mean, just had so much dedication and time devoted in it. But
Well,
that
everybody gave.
but that's not an excuse to take your life,
Yeah.
and if anybody needs any help with something like that, you should reach out to
For
a
sure,
friend
for
or
sure.
a family or somebody,
Yeah.
But
So what was it? What was your favorite part of like the travel and like carrying tires? And
oh
stuff
man,
like
I mean, I enjoyed going over the road, traveling, jumping off the wall, mechanicking. I mean, it was
you were a front tire
brotherhood.
carrier too, right?
Yeah, it's front
Yeah,
and
that's what I
rear.
was.
Then I went back to the rears.
I didn't like rears because I was just so used to going around the front of the
Yeah,
car.
yeah.
Started out as a jack man.
Right.
Jack Bailey, in fact, in 05, I ended up on the hood and the windshield of a
Yeah.
Craftsman
Yeah.
Truck Series.
Yeah, I
truck.
remember that.
Really?
I
Yeah,
think
you come home that weekend to
it
our
was either
apartment.
Texas or Kansas. I can't remember which
Yeah.
racetrack, but yeah, I was coming around the jack, and he, I guess,
Coming a little too hot.
I think he got a little excited, but his foot.
But he didn't overshoot the stall.
No, but he just ran
Yeah.
me down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
But we all kind of run together. So I think it was
oh, it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was he's good driver. He's out of the seat now, doing construction with the family biz. But I ended up on the hood there, and but yeah, it was always of course you'd throw a tire into the quarter panel of a
Oh yeah,
truck.
hit
If
Mike Wallace several
they
times.
come down on you too short trying to
Yeah.
mess you up. You just
Yeah.
throw the tire into
Yeah.
them, mess up their arrow. Yeah,
Little
it was
tricks
fun.
of the trade.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there was all sorts of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's
Guys-
kind of a crazy thing to think that. I mean, we were wearing helmets and fire suits, but kind of a crazy thing to
Yeah.
do to jump in front of a race car going 55 miles an hour
Yeah.
to a dead stop.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
So,
it's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
But my knees and shoulders definitely feeling it, especially my back nowadays.
yeah.
But I mean it is what it is within
Yeah,
the
it was a lot of
athlete.
fun. Did you enjoy like the being living out of a suitcase?
Yeah, I mean it was fun traveling at a young age, then,
Yeah.
but
It's too much now.
it's you get burnt out on
Dude,
it.
there's still guys.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
Kevin age are still traveling. I don't know
Yeah.
how they're doing it. 'Cause
Yeah.
after 8 years,
hats off and hands down to them.
yeah,
Yeah.
8 years of being on airplanes,
Yeah.
15 passenger vans of stinking dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, be honest,
Yep.
you leave freaking Darlington after the summer race, and
Oh, and you're-
everybody's seized up. You
Yeah.
stink. You get in the air conditioning, then it all sticks to you and
Yeah.
dries up like glue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, I'll tell you what,
Your clothes smell like
Darlington is rough.
you played basketball
bet.
in them all day.
Yeah.
Darlington's rough. I remember Memphis was a tough one.
People would pass out. Yeah, they
Yeah,
had to give
really.
people IVs.
Dover. I
Memphis
went
is
out in
real bad.
Dover.
Yeah,
I
you
got
did.
sick in Dover.
Yeah, probably
we
a
never
hangover.
up there. No, I always, I we always took it as athletic, sport, when we
Yeah,
traveled on. Now we did go out and
I was
party
gonna say,
and
you
have a
did
good
work for the
time.
teams I
Okay,
worked for.
we went out and partied and had a good time.
Right.
But we took it very, serious. I remember there was sometimes, I think Nashville, we won that race up there with the 23 truck with Johnny. Went out the night before, and Rick's rule was always 8 hours of sleep. 8 hours
Bottle
sleep,
of throttle.
8 hours of sleep,
I was asleep.
8 hours of sleep
Yeah.
before we had to leave to go to the track. And that night I had 8 hours sleep, but we all hit it hard. And I
Yeah.
remember we Nashville that year, we had to be at the track early, but we just went through Tech and then we raced that night. And I remember pouring sweat.
You said Indy?
No, Nashville. Nashville.
Oh gosh,
I remember being in Nashville.
Miserable hot there.
And pouring sweat, and me and a couple other guys just looking at each other miserable. And we just went and did it. And, we won the race. We were flawless on pit road, but, it was fun times,
Show off,
yeah,
Show
it was
off.
good. I got 5 wins on me, but you've got,
I don't know how many wins.
Beautiful rings.
I got rings, but the thing is,
Yes.
of all the wins I've been a part of,
Yeah.
I never got to go to Victory Lane.
Right.
It was all when I got
Yeah.
to Penske.
Yeah.
Like literally the weekend, the Monday, they raced Sunday before I started. They won, and then they won like the next 4 weekends in a row.
Yeah.
It was like the GM was like, "Dude, you're like a lucky charm."
Yeah.
But that season it was crazy because I walked into this team where it seemed like every Monday we were having bagels.
They
to
were
celebrate
having
the
win. They were having win.
Just
They were winning.
wins, and then Daytona 500, Indy 500, in Brickyard, stuff like that. It was just super cool, and so that was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so what are you doing now? What's
Now?
Yeah, like you moved back to Georgia a couple years back.
Yeah, I got laid off in 08, moved back to Georgia. I was ready to get a change out of racing. I was just honestly burnt out. Burnout from
It
traveling.
Yeah, that happened.
They say 4 or 5 years is about what you get. I was one of the 4 or 5 years.
I did 8.
Could have stayed in it. Just chose not to. Went back to Georgia. Got a sales job with AIM Chemicals. Stayed there for 6 years. Loved it. Enjoyed it. It was detail supplies. They manufactured all their own.
They had a lot of
chemicals.
good accounts, didn't you?
Oh yeah. I had a massive area. I mean, if the people that are from Georgia, I had everything from South Carolina all the way down to Atlanta, back all the way out to Augusta, like just a massive triangle.
Yeah.
Well,
That's pretty cool. So then you do that, and then you start doing construction.
Yeah, I got back into construction. I dabbled with construction my whole life with Dad. Being a developer and a contractor on 100 square foot buildings to custom homes. He never did really any spec homes. So I'd always had been in that background, and I was doing this on my side and on Fridays when we were off, and it got to be just real busy. So I figured I'd go work for myself and really do what I enjoyed doing as a younger kid, and was great with it, was successful with it. Had a good time with it, still am. Just having just a little bit of a transition in life right now, with everything that's going on in the world. I decided to sell my house, which it wasn't a long-term investment. It was a short-term investment when I bought it.
You came in at the right time.
Yeah. I came in, bought it at the right time, and I sold out right. I think, right.
You made about 40 million, right? No, I'm just kidding.
We're speaking of millions. Is the Cadillac outside with the guys in it for the helicopter?
So you guys are collecting today?
We think we might collect.
Let's go ahead and get this story out of the way in episode 1. So
sometime you are going to have to pay.
Kevin, do you
realize
want to tell the story?
Yeah,
I think Kevin could probably tell it the best.
Well, Austin's family has this beautiful,
great place,
beautiful lake house. That we're fortunate enough to go to on occasion.
Yeah.
And we're down there, and we did a guys weekend. And we were down there, we're drinking bourbon, we're jumping in the water, we're having a good time.
Wearing the life jackets like diapers. So you can float.
Listen, I have some pictures.
Taught you guys.
All right. And
everybody's like, well, you look like an idiot. No, I'm floating with my 2 beers.
Right.
My skinny beers, because they're Mick Ultras. Those are athletic beers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I'm floating there, and then next thing I know, I turn around and everybody's wearing them like diapers.
Yep.
Yes,
Guys,
guys,
I've been around. I've been around in the lake.
Kevin wore his the best because he's Paul.
I don't think Kevin even got it.
I didn't get in one. I refrained.
So
had a great night.
Yeah.
We were sitting in Austin and I are in the kitchen. We cooked a nice little. I think we'd cooked some pasta.
We had the
that's where we
Joe
did
Tortelli
all the
cooked some pasta.
What was that? That was the carbonara.
Yeah, that was a carbonara.
Yeah, it's great.
It was banging.
Baller.
And Johnny Ray's, we're a couple bourbons deep, and Johnny Ray's sitting over on the sofa, and Johnny Ray just out of nowhere says, he's like, I give $1 million if I could have a hot chocolate chip cookie right now.
A freaking hot chocolate
Right.
chip cookie.
Yeah.
With a little anger.
Because we had everything.
Okay.
We had everything.
We had,
there,
yeah.
but we didn't have
even
any
milk
cookies.
to go with the cookies.
proper shopping.
We didn't have cookies.
Yeah.
Austin
Turns
and
out we
I
did.
look at each other and we open the refrigerator and we got a log of chocolate
Classic.
chip cookies.
A log. They didn't say anything either.
Yeah.
They just
So
kind
we
of made it.
proceed to slice and dice, throw it in the oven, get it cooked,
About
pull
12,
it out.
12 minutes later, we
Yeah.
slap
12
them.
minutes later, we roll out with a plate, hand it to Johnny Ray, who's
They
in
were-
utter awe.
They were overcooked.
That's the excuse that he said afterwards. There
They
was
were-
no
Hey,
regulations placed on how
Well,
the cookie had
to
to
be
be
fair,
cooked.
yeah,
it just had to be hot and chocolate chip. Let's be
Right.
honest here.
It was, but it was overcooked.
And then he
Overbaked.
made the stupid mistake of saying that,
Wait a minute.
he
Hold on.
would pay $1 million.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, but hold on. I think I've heard some customers before say after they've eaten their burger or their wing or wings, I didn't like the meal, but we ate it all. Well, why'd you eat it all if you didn't like it?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah,
ate
yeah,
the
yeah.
cookie.
Yeah.
So
He
you
ate
so you ate the
whole
cookie
and asked for
and
another one.
Right,
Right,
yeah, and
that's
another
another
one.
one.
And another
I
one.
don't,
Okay.
I don't
And
remember that.
Then
this way.
started,
Yeah, of course.
started
Of course you don't.
The kick-
banter back and
I was
forth.
going to
Yeah.
say the Basil Hazens was probably kicking pretty hard at
Yeah,
that
that
point.
Basil Hayden's
I
good.
do remember eating a
So-
cookie and spitting it out. In the,
Oh, no,
And I remember saying, how dare you guys serve me this dog crap? But no, I do.
Oh, you ate it.
Actually, Austin, I think I've worked my tab down with you. I
Not from
think
the pool night.
I
No,
think-
I think we're to 495. 495.
495,000.
I think so. That's on my side.
Roughly, this equates to $500,000 a piece.
Mhm.
Austin and I were very
Yeah, we split it.
accommodating. We were accommodating.
And me
but
and
we said,
Kevin have always been good on deals.
We
And
would
you have
like-
too, John. So I hope you
I'm
do hold
working
up
on it.
to
I got.
Okay.
I mean, it's gonna be a minute.
Austin would like a plane.
Hey, so I'll fly it. You know.
Okay,
Yeah,
you can fly
I'm
the
cool with
plane.
that.
Yeah,
but we're
yeah.
still going to need somebody to fly my helicopter.
I don't do helicopters.
I don't either.
There's
They're,
the problem.
we're-
Helicopter can land at
Yeah, they just don't glide
they don't
far.
Johnny
They
Ray
don't glide
Acres.
far.
Yeah, they don't. I know we can. We've talked about this. I can. For the audience, we actually aren't going to buy a helicopter or an airplane.
Well,
No,
uh,
that
But
sounds
this
good.
is the.
he does owe us one.
I
just-
do
just
owe
saying,
one.
yeah,
I do
so-
owe a helicopter and a plane.
We'll
but
take it out in
handshake
some
is a
other
handshake.
I didn't
form.
shake hands. I just ate your cookie.
We do have video proof. We do
You
have video
did. You
proof.
ate like several of
No,
them.
I
And there's
don't-
at least 6 witnesses to this whole transaction.
Well, sometimes
Yes,
it's
yes,
just-
there
witnesses
is.
are everything in this type
so
of
people are
thing.
gonna be like, "Dang, that dude's in debt."
Hey, if you're not in a little bit debt in business and everything's paid
This
off,
isn't business. This is chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is chocolate
yes,
chip
yes,
cookies
yes,
and,
yes.
and,
So,
and planes.
What do you?
it's part of it.
So the chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that'll come up at some point again.
It'll come
But
up.
but yeah, so we make those guys weekends pretty solid.
Oh, yeah.
some
Food's
Stellar.
good.
bourbons.
Memory's always good. Bourbon's good.
The
yeah.
Party hardy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
party. What did we have last time? Well, we ate tacos.
We did steaks. Remember the steaks
We
that
ate
Steve
steaks.
cooked?
Oh,
Yeah,
we did
neighbor
steak.
Steve.
No. I cooked them.
No, you started to, but you weren't doing them right. So Steve
Yeah,
took
no,
over.
that
Steve
was
took
on
over.
the sirloins. That was on the skirts.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Steve
yeah,
did
yeah.
the skirts.
We
I
don't want no
did the
stinking
ribeyes where I had my
sirloins.
flip time down. Cooking for 12 of us.
We
you
had
know?
enough meat for.
Well, you should.
We had
20.
steaks. We had
I feel like you
pasta.
should only
We had
cook it-
shrimp.
Yeah,
You know.
we did eat a lot.
Wait, was there any veg? Oh yeah, we had vegetables.
couple
and salad.
vegetables.
Was
Yeah,
there
yeah,
vegetables?
there
I think it
was
was
a
a
few.
baked potato.
Yeah, baked potato counts as
Yeah.
from the ground.
So
right?
we were helping you actually move some of your stuff out of the house. Before you moved up here.
Yeah, and I appreciate
Um,
everybody. for
Oh
that.
man,
yeah.
listen,
No,
we had
it
a
was a
good
pleasure.
time. It was.
Yeah, I called and,
It was a
and
little
you guys,
selfish of us to come though.
you
because we
guys
wanna have a good
jumped.
time.
You know, you and Kevin and Steve and Aaron. I mean, you guys. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah. And again, Bergen will be here.
Yeah. He'll be here on the next
some-
episode.
Some
for sure.
automobile troubles
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
It happens to everybody.
This
It
isn't
does.
Atlanta. This isn't Charlotte. You know, we live. You know, everybody's close out in the country, but it's 30, 40 minutes to
Yeah.
get here to there. You
Oh
know?
yeah, it's 20 minutes
But-
everywhere.
There's no traffic lights
Yeah.
except for a producer.
Dude, where was
they
I?
hit a lot of traffic. I'm sure they said this
Yeah,
morning.
the
So,
production team here,
yeah.
the Moss Media.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming out of the Charlotte area.
Oh, yeah.
Great
Yeah.
work, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guys-
we
we've been-
appreciate y'all.
We've done a lot of. In fact, Alyssa's practically raised with my stepdaughter.
Yeah.
She went on vacations with us growing up. and
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's really cool to get to to
Well, yeah. Everybody.
consolidate.
Yeah, of
We
course.
got a tight circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tight circle.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so we did the lake house. I think my favorite part of the lake house trip was that we get to Austin's house, right? We moved 2 items,
Yes.
and then
2 items.
Then he's like, "To hell with this! I'm ready to go to the lake." And
Yeah.
I'd be like, Austin, come on, man, just one more hour.
Yeah, we
one more
constantly
hour.
had to keep saying, well,
Yeah,
what about the
I was
basement? He's
over
like,
it.
the basement's fine.
I
Oh,
was
the
over
basement
it.
was not fine.
I was over it.
Yeah. Oh, he was over
I
it for
was over
sure.
it.
How much did you leave there? Did you leave anything?
Lawnmower. I sold him.
Did you leave the stump?
No.
Stump's gone.
No. I didn't leave anything there. I
He
took
had to-
everything. Clean. The house is clean.
What?
We took
Of
the
course.
fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had it-
Yeah, fire hydrants.
Yeah,
peeled,
fire
the,
hydrants,
peeled the sod up.
yeah.
Went to Kevin's house.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Now I think who stole my gas can, the fuel gas can? I saw that somewhere. You
Maybe
remember that,
Berg.
the aviation fuel? I saw it somewhere. I don't remember where I saw
I don't
it.
know.
Yeah, I think it might have been at Berg. I think it's on his patio.
Oh, yeah, Berg. Okay.
Berg. No wonder
Berg,
he didn't
Berg,
come
Berg.
today.
Berg.
No wonder he wasn't able to come today. You knew we were going to throw him
Yeah,
under the
yeah,
rug.
yeah.
We were gonna-
The
God,
one
I'm
time
just
he's not
joking.
Yeah,
here.
for sure. He
Yeah.
definitely took it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so after a couple days, we finally got Austin. For the most part, moved out.
Oh,
But
yeah.
we spent
Yeah.
most of the time at the lake house. I think.
Back and forth.
5 hours.
Did we even get the boat
come
out?
down.
No, we didn't
No,
get the
we
boat
didn't
out.
take the boat.
No,
nothing
we didn't
out.
take
just
the boat
hung
out.
and had a good time.
We put ourselves in the water.
Didn't
Yeah.
catch any fish this
No,
trip.
no
No.
fishing. No fishing.
No catfish.
No catfish bait. No fishing.
So
But,
all
yeah.
right. So are we at an hour? Okay, so we're at an hour. I guess. So I guess we'll wrap this up for today. Make sure you check us out on Johnny Ray's Smokehouse on Facebook. The Hoot Nannie in downtown Forest City on Facebook. Johnny Ray on Facebook. Although apparently I hit 5,000 friends and I can't have any more friends.
Oh, Johnny
well, that
Ray.
happens.
So I'm gonna have to get a like page or something like that. I guess right.
Yeah.
A booster
yeah.
page.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it's like they give me a notice. They say, "Hey, you can
Your
delete
friend
some-
out.
Yeah,
you
you're
can
friended out.
You can
Your friend
delete
out.
some
We
friends.
can't let you
Your
have
friend
anymore.
out.
Well, it's part of the restaurant. You meet
Yeah.
you meet a lot of people. So
That's right.
anyway, check us out on Facebook, Johnny Ray, and all that. And I guess we'll be getting some content up here shortly for social media and all that good stuff.
All right.
Anyway, on behalf of Lordy Day, the podcast, I'm Johnny Ray, Austin Walker, and Big Kev. See you soon.
Signing off.
Signing off.
See y'all.